I am a horrible cook. My kids have chipped their teeth on my cookies. So my wife does the cooking, and as she does, I often read to her. I read one-liners like, "Going to church doesn't make you a Christian any more than standing in a garage makes you a car." Or, "Honk if you love peace and quiet." Lately, I've been reading her the story of Andre Agassi, the tennis great. Now, tennis, I gotta be honest, has always depressed me. I mean, no matter how good you get, you can never be as good as a wall. It keeps coming back to you. But Agassi was good. #1 in the world for a time. Andre's father is an Iranian who made it to New York, built a tennis court in their Las Vegas backyard, and drove his son hard. Andre is 7. His father makes him hit 2,500 balls a day, nearly 1,000,000 a year, standing behind him much of the time yelling. "I play tennis for a living," writes Agassi, "even though I hate tennis. Hate it with a dark and secret passion. Always have." His dad is a tyrant, verbally and physically abusive. Andre asks his mom one day, "How did you take it all these years?" "I don't know," she says. "He hasn't gone to jail yet, and nobody's killed him yet. I think we're pretty lucky, all things considered." Imagine. Andre's dad dreams of money more than anything, and believes there's lots of it in tennis. He's right. Agassi will go on to earn more than $30 million in prize money during his career, and $25 million a year through endorsements. But despite early success, Andre's brother Philly knows he is searching. "I've been going to church," Philly says to him. "Come check it out." The pastor's name is John Parenti. He recognizes Andre but respects his privacy. At one church, the pastor made him stand for a round of applause. But Parenti believes the center of attention in any church should be God. It takes months, but finally Andre asks if he can take his pastor for a spin in his new Corvette. He calls him JP and tells JP about his dad, about the rage, the constant pressure, the abandonment. JP says, "You do realize, don't you, that God isn't anything like your father? You know that, don't you?" Andre is so blown away, he almost drives his Corvette off the road. They stop and sit there and talk. God, JP says, is the opposite of your father. God isn't mad at you. God isn't yelling in your ear, harping on your imperfections. That voice you hear all the time, that angry voice, that's not God. That's still your father. Andre turns to him. "Do me a favor," he says. "Say that again." He does. "Say it once more." In a restaurant, they get laughing so hard they can barely breathe. "I laugh more than I've laughed since I was a boy," Andre recalls. And despite the stress of the tennis world, the media scrutiny, being abandoned by his father, the laughter, he says, has healing properties. Andre's pastor and new friend, John Parenti, has just written a song that's climbing the charts. It's the story of the prodigal son and his father. In the song, Parenti tells about God's attributes, his omnipotence, and then says, "The only time I ever saw him run was when he ran to me, took me in his arms, held my head to his chest, said, 'My son's come home again,' lifted my face, wiped the tears from my eyes. With forgiveness in his voice, he said, 'Son, do you know I still love you?' He caught me by surprise when God ran." I too have played that song probably 100 times. I don't know what comes to mind when you hear the word Father. If it's less than what it should be, never forget these words from 1 John 3, "How great is the love the Father has lavished on us, that we should be called children of God." He's a good, good Father. He loves you. Come to Him in faith. You are His child. I'm getting rather excited about that. You know what? I think I'll celebrate today with some of my wife's cooking. Image is everything, and so is subscribing.